Oh, it's so good to be home. New month, and we're in a new month. It's March, good grief, already. And the theme for March is healing is revealing. And that's what Ernest Holmes was always so fond of saying, that there is nothing to be healed. There is only the truth to be revealed. That we have believed in a false thought or a thought of error, and once we remove that, it just dissolves away into the nothingness. And what comes forth is the shining, radiant truth of who we are, really, who we are in truth. That we are already whole, perfect, and complete. So God is good all the time. God is good all the time. God is infinite abundance and balance and beauty, infinite freedom and joy and love, infinite order, peace, and power, infinite unity, wholeness, and wisdom. These are the qualities of God. And at the level of first cause, these qualities have no opposite. They have no opposite in truth. And this is our birthright. Infinite abundance, infinite beauty, all of it. This is our birthright. It is our birthright to be abundant. It is our birthright to be powerful and to be peaceful. It is our birthright to experience joy. These are all the gifts of the kingdom. This is our birthright. In Luke 12:32, it says, "Do not fear, flock. Do not fear. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." We need to grow our consciousness to accept. It is we who need to grow a greater idea in our own consciousness of who and what we are. We are the place where the divine has made itself manifest in the flesh. We need to grow into that greater sense of who we are. We are the place where spirit is inhabiting form on earth in 3 or 4 dimensions if you include time. It is the place where spirit is making itself known to itself. We are that. And that we recognize the spirit within that dwells in each and every one of us is experiencing life in this form. This is what we're here to do, to experience life in this form. And to be heir to all of the good in the universe. And to accept our birthright. We didn't earn it. We didn't have to do anything for it. It is already ours. And I remember as far back as I can, little, I always wanted to know the answers. Are you with me? Who else was a seeker by nature, right? Were you just a seeker by nature? I wanted to grasp the universe. I wanted to know everything. I wanted the answers. And my religion of origin was Catholic. So I looked to the nuns and the priests and I thought, hey, they work for God. They must have the answers, So I thought, I'm going to become a nun. It seemed like the logical thing to do. They have the answers. So, and I never, ever, it never crossed my mind to think of it along gender lines. So when I was little, I thought, I become a nun, then I promoted to priest, and then I get promoted to, bishop, then cardinal, then I'm the pope. I had no idea at that age that anything was broken down along gender lines. So when I found out I could be a nun, and that was it, talk about a glass ceiling. It was the shortest career track I have ever been on. It's like, well, the heck with that then, if I can't advance, I'm not going to do it. I never looked at it from the perspective of gender. Anyway, I never got the idea that women couldn't do certain jobs. It just was not a concept that I had as a child. I just figured everybody could do whatever they desired. And I kind of stuck with that. When I was beginning reading, you know what my favorite book was in the whole wide world? The Little Engine That Could. The Little Engine That Could was my favorite book in the whole wide world, not because I was a train freak, but because that little engine that could, that little one that thought it could, and got it up over the hills and delivered the toys to the little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain, was a girl. The engine was a girl. The little engine that could. The hero of the story was a girl. And it was like the one and only book when I was a little kid where the hero of the story was a girl. And I loved it. You have to remember, I grew up with the old books. I grew up with the Dick, Jane, and Sally books. Does anybody remember those Dick, Jane, and Sally readers? I grew up with those, and it was all about Dick. Well, Little Richard got to do everything. And Jane and Sally were just sort of like ornamental, Jane just stood on the sideline and cheered, while Dick got to play football and Dick got to play soccer and Dick got everything. And Sally was just sort of, like so much, I don't know, sideline. And poor little Sally, the littlest one, she sat in her diapers and napped all the time. She didn't even have a storyline. But that was the kind of stories that I grew up with. So to have something like The Little Engine That Could for me was really transformative. It was really transformative because I wanted to do the stuff Dick did. I wanted to be the hero. I wanted to play football, and I wanted to play soccer, and I wanted to do the things. I didn't want to stand on the sidelines and cheer for him. So what I know is that Spirit knows that about us. Spirit knows the desire on our hearts. Spirit knows the passion that we have and puts us on that path whether or not we realize it. We are on the path of unfoldment for our greatest good. We may not be able to see the goal. We may not even be able to see the goal when we start our feet on the path. But Spirit knows the desire in our hearts and knows where to direct us. And when we surrender to that, we trust Spirit to guide us in that way. We don't go wrong. We don't go wrong. We sit in meditation and we open up our consciousness and we listen to the still small voice, and we are not steered wrong. We are not. I told you I went to the conference and it was wonderful. We had days and days of great speakers and great talks, and there was a panel one day of 8 ministers who were incredibly successful, and they're leading thriving ministries all over the country. So these 8 ministers came up onto the platform, and they were asked one question, and they needed to share their answers. Each one of them were asked the same question. What is the one thing, what is the best practice that you can share with the group for growing our centers? What is the best, one piece of advice you could give other ministers or practitioners that you can pass on regarding growing ministries? And so I listened to all of them, and all 8 speakers. I mean, they were amazing, powerful, successful ministers from all over the country, driving successful ministries. And so I was listening to everything, and I was frantically, writing everything down, taking notes as fast as I could, and writing these ideas for growing centers. It became apparent to me that the advice that they were giving, these best practices that they were giving on how to grow successful centers, really was about how to grow spiritual consciousness in the individual also. That there really was not any difference. How to grow spiritual community is the same thing as how to grow spiritual individuals. It can be applied to us in our everyday life just as it is applied to us as a spiritual community. So here's one of the things that they said, and I love these, and I think they apply to each and every one of us as individuals. So here you go. The best advice from the best in our field. First thing, don't focus on growth. Seems counterintuitive, right? Don't focus on growth. Focus on health, because healthy things grow. Healthy things grow naturally. So don't focus on growth, focus on health. So concentrate on health, on spiritual health, on emotional health, on physical health. As individuals, read, take classes, improve communication skills, go hiking, sing, whatever, dance. Develop leadership skills, because we are all spiritual leaders of our own lives. We are all the spiritual leaders of our own lives. And engage in the questions. Engage in the questions, whatever they are for us at the time. Simply engage with the question without having to find the answer. Just be able to sit with the question and sit with perhaps not knowing. Sit in the mystery. The second minister said, feed the Spirit. He said, the best thing I can do is to be a good practicing religious scientist. The best thing I can do for my life is to be a practicing religious scientist. So that means meditate, it means contemplate, it means do your prayer work. He said, this is not a race to finish. It's not a level of achievement to get to. It's about feeding our souls all along the way. It's about feeding our souls, and I love that. So the third minister said that his best practice was make personal connections. Make personal connections. How much time do we spend on Facebook, right? Make personal connections. We cannot connect with each other through the internet, through webcams, or through live streaming. Connect with people at the heart level means looking in each other's eyes. It's being with each other. It's holding each other's hands. Connect with people at the heart level and connect in joy. Keep saying yes to new experiences. Keep it light. Keep it light, inside and out. Celebrate life, all of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Celebrate all of it. The fourth minister said this, keep passion alive. Bring excellence to everything you do. Not perfection. Let's make that clear. Bring excellence to everything you do, not perfection. Trying to be perfect all the time wears us down, makes us feel like failures, and leads to procrastination and self-doubt. Bring excellence to everything you do. The best you can be on that particular day, you bring that on. Keep reinventing and keep re-enchanting your life. I love that. Doesn't that sound like a Disney thing to say? Keep reinventing and keep re-enchanting your life. Find the magic in it. Find the fairy dust, you know? I love it. Keep checking in with your personal vision and mission statement. Is what you are doing in alignment with your own personal vision and mission statement? Or do you need a course correction? Now, a little side note here. How many of you have personal vision and mission statements? Okay, couple. All right, good. A couple. That's a good thing to have, because if you don't, you might want to sit down, take some time this week, and really think about it. Who are you? And who do you want to be, and how do you want to get there? You know, it's a lot easier to attain a goal if you know what the goal is. So think about it. Are you doing things you're not loving or not getting the results you want? If so, are you willing to release those things? Are you willing to release what's not working? Breathe. I hear no breathing happening. These are good things. These are all good things. The fifth minister said this, we must grow ourselves. We must get to the point where we see the wow factor in us. The wow factor in each one of us. Can you look in the mirror and see your wow? You need to see the wow factor in you. And she went on to say this, it's who we are being as we are doing. That's our true self. Who are you being when you are doing? That is the true self. Continue to court the divine. Continue to court the divine presence, the greater self. It is the only way to stay fearless in life, because you know that you're not doing it. We can be so fearless when we've courted the divine and we know it is the divine within us that is doing the work. We can remain fearless. She said this, it was really cute. I had never heard it before. She said, God proposes, human disposes. There's a lot of great ideas that Spirit is giving you. And when we don't feel like we're big enough, we get rid of them and we don't do them. So it's growing our sense of self. It is growing. We must recognize the great I am is alive and well in us, and it is doing the work. We are individualized expressions of master consciousness. So we must praise and raise all of us. She said spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. We must praise and raise our entire being. When was the last time you stood in front of the mirror naked and praised your physical body? Yeah, giggle, 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 giggle. That's one of the things to do. You stand in front totally naked and you praise every single part of your body. Yes, because the great I am resides within. It is the creation of the great I am. You are a temple of the great I am. Stand in front of that mirror, full length, head to toe, naked as the day you were born, and praise and raise from the top of your head down to your toes. Every single part of you is a magnificent miracle. Master spiritual leaders, and that is what each and every one of us are. Master spiritual leaders. We got to get out of seeking. We got to get out of the mentality of seekers. We're leaders. You know, we've done just about as much as we can in our heads. We've got to be master spiritual leaders, and that is what each and every one of us are. We must lead without judgment or criticism. And if any one of you out there masters that, let me know how you did it, because I'm still working on that one. Surround yourself with people who share and support your vision and your mission statement. The sixth minister said this: creating strategies for our lives is a healthy distraction. It's better than whining and complaining. However, we have gone just about as far as we can go with our intellect. We must journey to the heart. This journey must be one of the heart. As spiritual seekers and leaders, which we all are, we cannot take anyone where we haven't gone. So we have to connect at the heart level. And in order to do that, we need to heal our own baggage. It's just the truth. We need to heal whatever it is, whatever those false beliefs are. Individually, collectively, we need to heal the baggage. We need to heal what is holding us back and holding us down and keeping us separate and apart from the greater life of spirit that we are. Ernest Holmes used to say, the answer to the prayer is in the one praying. The answer to the prayer is in the one praying. So whatever it is you're seeking to resolve, whatever that false belief is, the answer is within you. The answer is within that great I am, which is you, which is the higher self of you. The answer is already there. We must move beyond our need to. Has anybody taken financial freedom? Do you remember the release prayer? Do you remember we had that release prayer, with the left hand, the right hand? I release my belief in, and it was the false belief, whatever it is for you. And then the right hand was, I release the need to. The need to is the thing we do when we are confronted with the truth of ourselves and we run away screaming like little babies. It's that thing we do when we don't want to face up to the false belief and we don't want to transform it. I release my belief in lack. I release my need to go shopping. You see how this goes? Because that pushes away the feelings of lack. So we need to release that. We need to move beyond our behaviors, our need to behaviors, and find the truth on the other side. Dissolve the false belief and find the truth of us, the great I am, which is within us, which is infinite abundance, infinite love, infinite joy, as much as we can handle, and then more. Minister number 7 said, we have to just face it. Most of our greatest learning comes from our biggest missteps. Just face it. And here's what he went on to say. Call people, clear with them. Don't let anything go unsaid. Don't let anything go unsaid. Don't harbor resentments. Don't lean on misunderstandings. Don't let questions go unspoken or unasked. Don't let feelings go unaddressed. Clear with people. Clear them out. Clear with each other. Clear with yourself. Clear it all out. Remember, things can fall apart, but we don't. We don't. This too shall pass. So you can have the difficult conversations. You can clear out all the misunderstandings. We all have unskilled behavior. How many times did you hurt somebody's feeling? You didn't even know about it, We're just like, we're in our own lives and we're doing our own little thing, and someone gets their feelings stepped on and you're not even doing it on purpose. None of us usually maliciously are walking around trying to hurt people, we do it unconsciously. We do it unskilled. And so if someone comes to us and says, I just want to clear with you this, she's like, oh my gosh, I never even knew I did that, right? I mean, how many times is it? It's just a misunderstanding. Clear it out. Get beyond it. This too shall pass. And keep going for the new experiences. Keep things fresh. Keep things alive. Keep things new. Keep things new. He said, there's more possibility in the nursery than there is in the morgue. I love that. Keep it new. Don't be satisfied with same old, same old. And minister number 8 said, live authentically. Be a spiritual lab rat. I love that. We are born into bodies that have expiration dates. That is the truth. Don't spend too much time doing things you don't love doing. Don't spend too much time doing things you don't love doing. Behave boldly. Look at what scares you and do that. Look at what scares you and do that, because you have to move through it, because your success lies on the other side of it, your happiness lies on the other side of it, your self-confidence lies on the other side of it. Do that thing you're afraid to do. Just do it. Celebrate life, all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I said that before, I know I did, but it bears repeating. Celebrate all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There you have it. These were the must-haves, the best practices for growing a wildly successful, thriving spiritual community. And I thought, and I still think, it is a great recipe for growing a wildly happy, successful, abundant spiritual individual, which is the truth of all of us. What do you think? Yes. It is the truth of all of us. It is our birthright. It is our birthright to be loving, joyous, fully free, happy, self-actualized beings of spirit out picturing as flesh. And that is the direction in which I am growing. Are you coming with me? Yes. Are we walking this path together? Yes. Who was it? Ram Dass, who said, we're all just walking each other home. What a wonderful thought. Thank you so much.